Un grupo de campesinos ubicó la aeronave siniestrada.
Esta es la lamentable situación que se vive en este momento. Se confirma el fallecimiento de todos los integrantes que venían en la avioneta. Una situación bastante lamentable.
Completamente destruida. El fuselaje, que es la columna vertebral del avión, partido, el metal retorcido y las alas incompletas y dispersas entre los árboles quebrados, hablan de la violencia del impacto. A las 11:42 de la mañana, este avión de Satena con matrícula HK4709 despegó del Aeropuerto Internacional Camilo Daza en Cúcuta. Su destino era Ocaña, norte de Santander, cuyo pronóstico indicaba aterrizar 25 minutos después, sobre las 12:05 del mediodía. Pero a las 11:54, a pocos kilómetros de llegar a Ocaña, el radar del centro de control perdió comunicación con la aeronave entre los municipios Playa de Belen y Acarí. Las comunidades reportaron haber escuchado un fuerte estruendo y comenzaron a dirigirse al punto. Mientras tanto, aeronaves de la Fuerza Aeroespacial Colombiana hicieron reconocimientos aéreos para tratar de ubicar el avión desde el aire. Las autoridades descartaron que sobrevolara fuera de los radares, al saber que el avión tenía una autonomía de vuelo hasta las 2 de la tarde. Tras más de 3 horas desaparecido, encontraron el avión siniestrado en zona boscosa de la vereda Curacica, en el municipio La Playa de Belén. Mientras tanto, la incertidumbre de las familias de quienes iban a bordo del avión.
Vamos a mirar a ver si podemos alcanzar.
¿Qué familia tiene? ¿Qué familiar tiene?
Mi hija.
Se subieron en camionetas de la Defensa Civil para tratar de llegar al punto del siniestro, y con la llegada de las autoridades se confirmó que no hubo sobrevivientes. Los organismos de socorro en el municipio de Playa de Belén comenzaron a desplegarse. Entre tanto, el Ministerio de Transporte confirmó la muerte de los 15 ocupantes de la aeronave, los 2 capitanes y 13 pasajeros, entre ellos el representante a la Cámara Diógenes Quintero Amaya y su asistente Natalia Acosta, el candidato por las curules de paz Carlos Salcedo y el exconcejal de Ocaña Juan Pacheco Mejía y su esposa.
El país está de luto con esta noticia, de nuevo la solidaridad con las familias, con la región, con Norte de Santander.
Inclusive el director de accidentes aéreos ya está allá casi llegando al sitio y con un grupo de personas para ver exactamente realmente qué fue lo que sucedió.
La Aeronáutica Civil afirmó que el localizador de emergencia con la que cuenta la aeronave nunca fue activado.
Amazon is scaling back and the uncertainty is real for workers. One employee posted on TikTok talking about the anxiety leading up to today's announcement.
So nothing happened. No layoff emails, no text messages at 3 a.m. But I think that just means that it will happen tomorrow.
In a message to staff, Amazon said the cuts are aimed at reducing layers, increasing ownership, and removing bureaucracy. While the company has not publicly specified which business units will be impacted or where the job cuts will occur, this could have a ripple effect throughout Seattle's downtown economy.
When it's a hometown company that is laying off people, you're always trying to figure out how it's going to impact the city of Seattle.
Councilmember Joy Hollingsworth says it'll be months before the impact is clear.
You also think about the ripple effect of that person that might lose their job not coming downtown anymore, and are they spending $10, $15 on lunch and parking and all these pieces that play into the economy.
The layoffs come just one day after the company abruptly announced it's closing all Amazon Fresh and Go stores nationwide, impacting over 400 workers in Western Washington.
Wow, my niece works for Amazon Fresh.
In Hollingsworth's district, the closure of one Amazon Fresh means there's no longer a major grocery store in the neighborhood.
There's really nothing around here that offers what they do.
Still, city leaders, including Hollingsworth, aren't wavering in their support of Washington's biggest employer. In a statement, Seattle's deputy mayor said, Seattle remains proud of its long-standing partnership with Amazon, and we are committed to supporting Amazon's long-term presence in Seattle.
This Wednesday in Caracas, the acting president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, received a pledge of allegiance from members of the armed forces as she continues to cement her power following the ousting and capture of Nicolas Maduro by US forces at the beginning of January. And in receiving that Pledge of Allegiance, she did have some words for the country's opposition.
We have opened a space for political dialogue so that all those who truly love Venezuela can come, but those who intend to perpetuate the harm and aggression against the people of Venezuela should stay in Washington because they will not be allowed in here.
And just a few hours before, in Washington, the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, was conducting a hearing at the Senate to explain the long-term strategy of the United States when it comes to Venezuela. The Secretary of State, who is also the National Security Advisor at the White House, said that the US are planning a three-phases plan, talking about stabilizing the country first, and then a phase of recovery, and ultimately a transition to democracy. Rubio said that he's not personally satisfied with Delcy Rodriguez picking up the reins from Maduro's government and cruising Venezuela ahead, but at the same time, the country cannot sustain a transition to democracy as it is now, and the US are working with Rodriguez in trying to stabilize the country and recover it economically before allowing the country's opposition to return to Venezuela and perhaps challenge Rodriguez's rule.